This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
PM Marape launches priority impact projects in Kundiawa. Trade and investment relations with Thailand to be a game changer for PNG. And Governor Pariwa on Pacific Marine Industrial Zone projects in Medang. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister James Marape arrived in Kundiawa earlier today to launch priority impact projects for the Kundiawa Gembol district in Chimbu province. PM Marape launched 6 priority development projects. The district's 5-year development plan 2022 to 2027 was also launched today.
The people of Chimbu province have turned up in numbers to welcome the Prime Minister James Marape at Kundiawa to launch priority impact projects for the district this morning upon the invitation of the local MP, Mugwa Dilo. PM Marape's visit is strategic as the national government is focused on supporting the 89 districts to build infrastructures like roads and bridges and rural electrification amongst other priority impact projects. During the launch, Prime Minister Marape said the national government stands ready to support districts which have clear and simple achievable plans like roads, coffee and cocoa rehabilitation, improvements to law and order facilities like police stations and rural jail lockups. On this occasion in Chimbu, the member for Kundiawa Gembol said his district and the people of Chimbu are honored to host Prime Minister Marape and thanked the national government for its continued support. Prime Minister Marape is also expected to launch the Gembol hydropower project, which is worth 3 million kina. He will also be attending to similar important projects in the Kerawagi district before returning to Port Moresby. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
The Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, has stated that cementing strong trade and investment relationship with Thailand will be a game changer for Papua New Guinea. He made this statement today at the Minister's office in downtown Port Moresby in a joint announcement conference with his Vice Minister, Kessi Sawang, Governor for Medang, Ramsey Pariwa, and the International Trade and Investment Secretary, Jacinta Warakai Manua.
On a trade and investment mission to Thailand recently, an impressive statement was made by the inspired Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru. Minister Maru highlighted the achievements of the Thai industries and says PNG has the potential to be like Thailand in major food productions. Minister Maru, together with Vice Minister and Member for Rai Coast, Kessi Sawang, Secretary Jacinta Warakai Manua, and the Governor for Medang Province, Ramsey Pariwa, all travelled to Thailand with the interest of observing the country's trade operations and an establishment of a bilateral relationship.
Thailand, we build a strong trade and investment relationship with Thailand and bring their investors here. They can help us using their experience to also transform in the next 20 years in a very big way. We have all the raw materials here. We have all the land here that's not utilized. They've run out of land and they are looking to our country to partner in a very big way.
Vice Minister and Member for Rai Coast, Kessi Sawang, had this to share about the trip they had.
Materials exporter and agriculture based, while one country, say Thailand, has moved towards industrialization. We are there to see what it is and also invite Thailand to partner with Papua New Guinea in investment, especially in our agriculture sector.
Governor Pariwa elaborated on the importance of having main infrastructures that will enable full capacity of production in the country.
Infrastructures are main factors of production in these industrial nations like Thailand. We have good roads, bridges. I mean, they have good roads and bridges in their country that enable them to produce, to supply the world with their products. We need electricity, good electricity, powers to power the industries, water supply, and such other utilities. And I would very much like the government to look at this. These are the capacities that we need to build before we call for investors to come into this country and invest.
Furthermore, Minister Maru announced that the visit of the first Thailand investors will be on the 6th of March 2023, where talks of setting up in one of the special economic zones in the country will be made. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, during the press conference today, Governor for Madang, Ramsey Pariwa, said his travel to Thailand with the minister was for the interest of the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone project in Madang. He said the project has incurred problems that could be identified with the help of the Thailand investors.
The Pacific Marine Industrial Zone, or PMIZ, situated at the north coast of Madang Province, is believed to be the first proposed special economic zone of Papua New Guinea. Although it was an eye-opener project, Governor Pariwa has described it as a failed project over the years.
This visit with the team is especially for PMIZ project in Madang. And under my watch as the governor of Madang, I'd like PMIZ project to be a successful project for Madang and this country.
Governor Pariwa Stanley said that the PMIZ project must be developed soon.
Madang has a huge economic potential. We have big landmass, vast landmass. We are also maritime province, and I can see Madang has big economic potential in terms of agriculture industries that we can build in Madang. But I want the government to fix that. I want our Maraperoso government to look at building our infrastructure first.
He highlighted the problems identified and hopes to discuss solutions with potential investors like the Thai investors. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
Mount Hagen City Authority has been encouraged to do its work without fear or favor. Provincial Governor Wairapa said with the City Authority Board now in place, he wants to see changes in Mount Hagen City.
Speaking to the recently sworn-in Mount Hagen City Authority board members, the governor said the provincial capital must be taken ownership of. He said responsibility of taking care of Mount Hagen City lies in their hands and he would stand at the back to support, while focusing on other remote parts of the province.
Because Embol very important man now of driving the city. We talk straight on Yes.
The governor also assured the people that the board members are capable and experienced persons and he expects the best from them. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. A primary school head teacher in the Kariku district of Central Province revealed that the government promised tuition fee grants is insufficient to cater for the school needs. Therefore, the school infrastructure has been deteriorating. Pinu Primary School head teacher Rodney Saliu expressed this in an interview recently.
Pinu Primary School in the Kariku district of Central Province has a population close to 300 students, including the elementary students. The school was proposed 2 years ago for a junior high school status. However, infrastructure remains the biggest challenge, as most facilities in the school were built in the 1980s. Head teacher Rodney Saleu outlined the challenges.
Most of the challenges that we face is mainly to do with infrastructure. Most of the infrastructure that are here, they've been built in the 70s and 80s. So by now, most of them are not in a better state.
The head teacher added that the TFF funds are not enough to build and maintain infrastructure.
For the last how many years, the school has been receiving TFF, but sadly, I feel that the amount that are going to the schools are not that adequate to sustain the infrastructure that we have. Like for last year in the school, we receive about, in 1 year, we receive about 20,000. And with the 40-30 components, you break it down, the stationery gets almost half of that.
Mr. Saleu further said that the change in education policy is another factor that affects schools in the country.
There are many schools that are facing difficulty with the 166 policy change. So now I'm getting the 1 and 2s are coming to community school. I have 7 and 8 here and I have to move them to high school, but there is no place that I can move them to. So the 166, it comes with the changes. So the money that we receive is enough for what we need to do, but the changes that are happening, we need support more than that.
The head teacher further said the school will not charge any project fees as per the government and education department circular, but he is urging the responsible authorities to look into this matter. Thomas Suliambari, National EMTV News.
Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture and member for Samarai Murua district of the Milne Bay province, E.C. Henry Leonard has announced a funding support of 2 million kina for tertiary students in his electorate. He made this announcement during the signing of the MOU agreement between Mama Bank recently in Port Moresby.
Now in the district, I'm engaged with my people. I roll out 100% school fee every year. I paid 3 million in the last, and I'll be paying 2 million now. I can't manage it. I want a bank to manage my school fee subsidy program. So I don't have to run around and the bank can do that for me. So I want to put in my school fee subsidy into a microbank, and the women's microbank are the trustworthy.
Higher Education Minister Don Polye has revealed that a funding of 98 million kina have been approved by the Cabinet and will go towards funding the completion of the Western Pacific University in Southern Highlands Province. Minister Polye also revealed that an urgent funding of 15 million kina is needed to build the e-library for virtual learning, which he is enthusiastic about. Minister Polye made these statements in an exclusive interview with EMTV recently in Port Moresby.
Western Pacific University was built under the state partnership between the government of China and PNG. The Higher Education Minister revealed that the Chinese part of the agreement was done diligently. However, for the PNG government, there is more that needs to be done.
The Papua New Guinea government's side has been derailed, or had been derailing over time, about 3 or 4 years, and some of those buildings that are supposed to have been put up, they are now corroding their steel, and the work has been destroyed because of lack of attendance to it for the last 3 years. That's a concern to me. To finish that will cost me about 98 million. And 98 million also has been approved by the government, and that too.
Minister Polye highlighted an urgent funding is also needed to fund the university's e-library and stressed on the importance of creating virtual learning for all students to have access to quality higher education through all tertiary institutions in the country.
So we created virtual learning space. So the University of Western Pacific is doing just that by building that the e-library that will require the Papua New Guinea government's component of 15 million, which I've also requested through a cabinet. They've also approved it.
Polye also revealed that he has plans in place to elevate the School of Medicine and Health Science, which is currently under the University of Papua New Guinea, to a standalone university. He adds that he will make sure to convince his colleagues on the floor of Parliament to see from his perspective.
They will require my strategic thinking and working with everybody to look into it. The other challenge I have is to convince my colleagues on the floor of Parliament, but most important, cabinet level, for them to see that human development, integral human development is priority number one. Priority number one. It cannot be overlooked. It can't be overlooked. Most of the country's systems are failing because we do not have the quality management or the quality skills in the stewardship level, in the custodianship level. Those who have been put in charge, they probably lack the abilities, lack the qualities, lack the experience, lack the skills. And where do you develop that?
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Parents of students attending the Yarawari Agro-Technical Secondary School have insisted on paying school project fees of 220 kina to assist with the school, given the deteriorated state of the school's facilities. This was revealed by the school's principal, Michael Temoa.
Despite stern warnings issued by the Secretary of the Education Department, Dr. Uge Kombra, warning principals not to charge project fees, parents of students attending the Yarawari Agro-Technical Secondary School have insisted on paying the project fees of 220 kina to assist the school with renovation of the facilities, since almost all the building facilities are all run down and not conducive for students to study in. The school's principal revealed that parents have been very supportive towards assisting the school over the years.
The parents met with the PNC president. They have met to discuss how they can help the school. And in fact, the parents have agreed that they will help the school, support the school. So they have agreed that they will pay some amount of money to the school to help with, like I said at the start, we need money for the classroom maintenance, teachers' houses, and
Mr. Temoa highlighted that accommodation for teachers have been an issue over the years. He said the school is supposed to have 64 teachers. However, due to accommodation issues, they only have 30 to 40 teachers.
19, they supported the school by from Governor Agarope. He was able to assist the students of Central Province by paying their fee just for grade 11 and 12. I think that is all. Otherwise, there was not much help from the provincial government.
Mr. Temoa added that teachers have been using the classrooms for accommodation and highlighted that the school have been operating without any support from the provincial government. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
More practical equipment are still needed at the Kiunga Technical Vocational Training Centre in the North Fly district of Western Province. This technical Vocational Training Centre in the North Fly district. The Technical Institute has been providing National Certificate 1 or NC1, hence need funding support to educate the students.
Over 500 students have enrolled in this institution when registration commenced last week. The Kiunga Technical Vocational Training Centre is a boarding institution that caters for students coming from remote villages in North Fly, including the other 3 districts within Western Province and other provinces as well. Centre Manager Andrew Yima said they have not charged students any fees during registration, and due to lack of funds, this has greatly affected the commencement of this academic year for the school.
Because any beginning, when the school starts, it's very, very important that we need money to operate, to start. So what we are thinking at the moment as training institution in this Kenga Vocational Center, the government is telling us not to pay. We are very, very optimistic about that because to start off, we need money.
The center manager further explained that practical materials for students are expensive. Therefore, they would need more funding support to train the students. He added that teaching plans will be affected due to lack of funds to execute their plans.
Especially for training center here, it's very, very expensive. So for us, we just had a briefing this morning that the teachers are not really comfortable with the government policy of telling us.
The academic staff members are calling on the government to ensure that the TFF component for technical institutions this academic year must be released on time. Amanda Elaitia, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kenya closed unchanged at $0.2840 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying $0.2765 $0.3966 Australian dollars, $0.2486 euro, 36.0 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The Maprik election petition challenging the Maprik open seat pleads a total of 17 allegations comprised of 3 allegations of errors and omissions, 1 undue influence allegation, 3 bribery allegations, and 10 instances of illegal practice allegations. Trial commenced on Tuesday, 31st of January 2023 in Wewak. The petitioner, former Maprik MP John Simon, called a total of 12 witnesses and closed his case on Friday, 3rd February 2023.
Mr. MP for Maprik, through his lawyer, made an oral no-case submission. Justice Elenas Batari had delivered the decision at 2 p.m., where His Honor upheld the no-case submission in part and dismissed the following grounds or allegations for no or lack of sufficient evidence from the petitioner. All 3 bribery allegations, 1 undue influence allegation, and 5 illegal practice allegations. The balance of the grounds, consisting of 3 errors and omissions and 5 illegal practices, will proceed to trial, where the respondents, Mr. Gabriel Caprice, and the Electoral Commission will call rebuttal evidence. The trial continues tomorrow, 7th of February 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
The Executive Chairman for Unity Supermarket Limited, Eric Hayara, is calling on all provincial governments to work in partnership with them so that farmers in all the 22 provinces can supply fresh produce to the proposed Unity Supermarket. He made this statement today during the launching of the construction of Unity Supermarket at the Unity Mall in Port Moresby.
With the vision to unite people to create a successful customer-owned supermarkets, Unity Group of Papua New Guinea Limited will now have a new supermarket to help local farmers by providing a market avenue for them to sell their produce. The Executive Chairman, Eric Hayara, said their strength is in fresh foods because the organization that they represent is connected to many farmers, church groups, and youths all around the country. He says with the government's vision to take back PNG, their aim is to help farmers continue on doing more farming in the country. He also says this supermarket will also provide job opportunities for people in the city.
Practical aspects of it is what we're doing here. The real take-back PNC is happening at the Unity Mall, at Unity Supermarket. The real transformation real thing is happening here because we are implementing that government policy. We are here because we've got a dream, we've got a passion, we've got a team that is working hard, and we are here to help Papua New Guineans transform this country, help Papua New Guineans to have money in their pockets, have families to change for themselves.
The General Manager for Unity Group of Papua New Guinea, Raj B. Shahi, said this market creates opportunities for village farmers, and they are also looking at downstreaming processing in supporting local farmers.
So the Unity Supermarket will create the opportunity. Whatever the farmers grow in the village level, we will focus and we will target the consumer throughout the cities. And also we have a plan in line in the future to feed out people and then look for the export market where have a lot of big demand gap in the global market.
The Chief Financial Officer for Unity Supermarket Limited, Julius Aijau, said they have plans in establishing similar markets in other provinces after this market comes into successful operations. The construction of this supermarket commenced today after the launching and will continue till the end of May and is expected to be in operation by June of this year. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
And moving overseas now, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake has hit Turkey near the Syria border, killing more than 200 people.
Collapsed in the southeastern province of Diyarbakir, and people are trapped in the rubble. The quake hit 33 kilometres from Gaziantep, a major city and Turkish provincial capital. It struck at a depth of 10 kilometres, destroying buildings in the city of Gaziantep. The tremor lasted about 60 seconds. It could be felt in neighbouring Cyprus, Lebanon and Syria. Syria's state media has reported more than 100 people have died after the collapse of buildings in Aleppo and the central city of Hama. Search and rescue teams have been dispatched to areas hit by the quake. US President Joe Biden has pledged to provide assistance to those affected, saying he's profoundly concerned by the reports of the destructive earthquake. The Turkish Red Cross has mobilised resources for the region.
A 7.8 magnitude earthquake is seriously destructive. At the moment, all our governors are at the head of their duties. Police, Turkish armed forces, disaster and emergency teams, Turkish Red Crescent, and search and rescue teams from all over the country are being dispatched to the region.
Witnesses have shared videos of the quake online as they ran from collapsing buildings into the snowy streets. People have been told to leave damaged homes and to gather in open areas. It is feared many more victims will be found in the rubble.
And Beyoncé has made history by winning the highest number of Grammys.
Be upstanding and show your respect. It's Renaissance, Beyoncé.
The American singer has won 4 awards at today's ceremony in Los Angeles, including Best Dance Electronic Music Album, besting Australians Rufus Du Sol with her release Renaissance. Her current tally of 32 Grammys has seen the singer pass classical conductor George Scholte's total of 31. Beyoncé picked up 4 awards from 9 nominations at today's ceremony.
I'd like to thank my parents, my father, my mother, for loving me and pushing me. I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching. I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre. God bless you. Thank you so much to the Grammys. Thank you.
Okay, we're joined now by Manyo Bobo, ABC News journalist, for more. Welcome to you. A huge night for Beyoncé.
a massive night for Beyonce and well deserved. I mean, she's now the most awarded artist in Grammys history, as you were saying. And it's an incredible result. I mean, she's got 32 Grammys now.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Vanu Dust has walked away with the NCD Governors Cup 2023 title after defeating their opponent, the H6 Knights, with an 8-2 final siren score.
The Vanu Dust has been crowned the champions of the NCD Governors Cup 2022 after their 6 points margin defeat over their opponents, the H6 Knights. They have advanced through to the grand final playoff after facing off with the Riders Namona, where they won the match through an intercept try with just seconds remaining before the final siren. During their crowning and the medal presentation last night, Vanu Dust team captain Kaupa Sipa shared his excitement for having been titled as the champions of the NCD Governors Cup 2022. In the Cat and Racer women's clash, the Prestige Venoms took the victory by 6-0 over the Kombuko Crushers. The runners-up, the Kombuko Crushers and the H6 Knights, were also presented cash prizes and medals during the presentation ceremony. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
The two grand finalists of the Men's National Soccer League, the Lay City FC and the Hekari United FC, will face off in the Men's National OFC playoff this Saturday at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium in Lay, Morobe Province. This announcement was made by PNG Football Association competition manager Amjad Tekwi today.
Come Saturday, the 11th of February 2023, the Lay City FC and the Hekari United FC will go head-to-head in the OFC National Playoffs at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium at 3 p.m. This will be the first playoff as the Lay City FC will host the Hekari United FC. The update was detailed by the PNG FA competition manager Amjad Tekwi.
So we have the OFC men's national playoffs commencing this weekend. The first match will be hosted by Lay FC up in at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium this coming Saturday at 3 p.m.
The return leg will be hosted by Hekari United on the following Saturday, which is the 18th of February 2023 at the Sir John Guy Stadium in Port Moresby.
And the return leg will be hosted by Hekari United back here at the Sir John Guy Stadium on the following Saturday in a fortnight on the 18th of February.
The OFC National Playoff is tipped to be contested between the two top teams from the Men's National Soccer League competition, where the winner of the playoff will represent the PNG Football Association and the country as a whole to compete in Vanuatu in May this year for the OFC Champions League.
The winner of the playoffs will represent PNG FA and Papua New Guinea at Vanuatu in May for the OFC Champions League.
Manager Tekwi is appealing to supporters and football followers in both Lay and Port Moresby to show support during the OFC National Playoffs. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. A press conference was held today at the Santos National Football Stadium to clarify the underlying purpose of the expression of interest for affiliates. This also allowed for formal explanation of the EOI for affiliates and the surrounding backgrounds leading up to the initiation of the affiliation on the 3rd of February 2023.
The press conference panel was led by PNG RFL CEO Stan, followed by his subordinates, Indi Verena, Southern Confederate Game Development Officer, Saku Ang, who is the Competitions and Pathways Coordinator, and Nigel Hukula, Game Development and Participation Coordinator.
A precursor toward.
The number of interested affiliates is open to any interested league right across the country. This is also in line with the growing passion and love for the sport throughout the past 2 years, especially at the community level where most of the localized rugby league competitions are being staged. This was emphasized by PNG RFL Competitions and Pathways Coordinator Saku Ang.
Administering rugby league going forward. So we've been talking about New Island model that will help our local leagues in terms of governance, football and commercial going forward to standardize games to play at the professional level.
Southern Confederate Game Development Officer Indi Verena, during his address, spoke on the two most vital requirements that interested leagues should consider when submitting their expression of interest.
Number one is the compliance part of it, okay? And number two is subscription. Number one, when we talk about compliance, those requirements Saku has spoken about in terms of affiliation, all those requirements must be met before we ask them to subscribe.
PNG RFL CEO Stanley Hondina reiterated on the points discussed by his board members.
50 years when the game was in Papua New Guinea was just a process of paying up and saying I'm playing an unregulated, uncoordinated sport that we played. And now we've fixed the top tiers of our structure. We are focusing on fixing the below tiers so that everyone wants to join PNG RFL, come through the process.
Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, Kerema, Popondetta, cloudy with afternoon, evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy periods with evening rain showers and thunderstorms. Alatau, cloudy periods with some afternoon, evening showers. In the Momase region, Ley, mostly cloudy with some evening rain showers. Medang, Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy periods with afternoon, night rain showers and thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, all centers cloudy periods with some afternoon, night rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, all centers cloudy with afternoon, night rain showers and thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 6th of February 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.